Well, man. Shabbat shalom, 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 shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Yahweh Shai. This is brother Amath IQAhmath, first name IQ. It's all the same. Let me apologize to the people. Let me apologize to brothers and sisters, man. I did try to go live at 3 o'clock. Time got behind me. I thought I'd be ready to go at 4 o'clock. I tried to change the time. Turns out, all praise to the Most High. I was ready a little bit sooner than that, but I'm here. We here. Glorious day of the Lord, day of rest, day to recover, recoup, reconvene, joined to each other in the spirit of truth, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, counsel and might in the fear of the Most High. That's the elements of the Holy Spirit according to Isaiah, the 11th chapter. Verse 2 and 3. Prayerfully, everybody's well, man, on Shabbat, man. I know I caught some of y'all off guard, not knowing what's going on, but no need to fret. We here. We here. All right. Tell a friend. Spread the word. You dig what I'm saying? You got to line on somebody that is part of the MLTC brigade, part of the DSTM brigade. You let them know, hey, I thought he was gonna go on at 11. No, it wasn't 11. I didn't get notified. It said 3 o'clock. Everybody waiting for 3 o'clock. Oh, I don't see nothing. It's 4 o'clock. As my brother put on here, Shar says, hey, it's 4 o'clock. He got the update, right? But all praise to the Most High, didn't have to go that long. Prayerfully, everybody's doing well, man. I just want to check in with y'all and close out the Shabbat in good form. For some of y'all time zones, you might already be, closing in or closed out the Sabbath already. But for some of us that still got some light out there, we're acknowledging this is the close of our Shabbat. So if you haven't already, man, do your brother that solid, man. Hit that like button, wipe your feet, spread the word again, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. All the cliches that they say in this YouTube world. You dig what I'm saying? So let me salute my family that's in the house, man. Hopefully some of y'all are still in here, man. I see that the chat is booming with salutes and blessings and greetings from the saints. My brother Ashara Watt, shalom to you. Karatazah in the house, shalom. Uziel, Malachi, shalom. You brothers, man. Raniyah, shalom, sis. Rosemary, my London family, shalom to you, my sister. The house of Byron in the house. Glad to see that y'all notifications are back working again. You know how they be playing dirty over in these YouTube streets, boy. Playing dirty, man. Shalak in the house, shalom, shalom. Yara in the house, shalom, my sister. Kohath in the house. Elder Rashaf in the house. Naquab, brother Jason. Anybody else that's going to be joining in as we going on this journey, man, of uncovering truths, breaking down the lies, moving towards the prophetic return of Hamashiach Yahushua, the Savior of the Israelites, as we're moving closer towards the redemption of the 1/3 and 144,000 sealed elect of the Lord, man. We're here. We're on a mission to get that done. All right. So without further ado, man, go ahead and give me 1 second. And we're going to get right to it, man. A lot to discuss as usual. As usual. You got these border wars jumping off, man. You know Trump and his peoples, man, they declared war on Mexico. They declared war on the cartels, plus the president of Mexico ain't playing fair when it comes down to this border and the exchange of so-called migrants. So there's a war of the southern border jumping off right now. And, it's big tough. I mean, it's big tough talk coming from America. Wars being declared possibly down in Panama, U.S. against Panama. You still got much activity regarding Russia, NATO, the EU, economic fallout. I mean, the whole nine, man. All the MAGA hats, man, running around with their big bubble heads with the red hats on and, waiting for this great comeback. And the gold rush is here. The money finna flow out of the skies, man. The goose with a golden egg. Them eggs is rotten. Agent Orange, man, is not going to be able to deliver on all of these promises that he's doing. Now he's coming in bogarting, stepping on people, doing what he needs to do, stepping on necks, dragging whoever he needs to do to kind of get what he wants done. But he's getting some opposition. He's getting opposition from lesser known countries that are putting up a little bit of a fight. Like I said, with Mexico, you got Venezuela's putting up a little bit of a fight. Panama's putting up a fight. Now he's got tensions with some of the members of Nato. So everything ain't going according to plan at all. The stock markets is facing turmoil. Damn near $1 trillion got lost over the weekend with China popping out with their new AI system to try to establish the market. Oops, you know what I'm talking about. Trying to establish the new system of the beast, a race to the top. These nations are on a race to the top to try to control and destroy the rest of the earth. All right, let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it, man. Salute to my sister Hashemai in the house. Shalom. Zakar, shalom to you and your family, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. It's going down. Give me 1 second. We're going to move with this on the fly. Like I said, I was moving and grooving today, and some of these things aren't put together right how I want them, but bear with me. Bear with me, and we're going to get to it. All right? Let's see. Boom. Here we go. All right. So, as we usually do, I always like to kind of recap and look and see what's happening on the war front. Seems like it's been quiet over there in Ukraine. Seems like it's been quiet. What's happening over there in Palestine? What's been going down over there in Syria, Iran, so forth and so on. But a lot of times when you think things are quiet, that's when you kind of got to pay more attention because, something bigger is brewing. When it's quiet, that's when you got to be more alert. Give me 1 second. Let me check my stream. And if I'm coming in solid, man, let me know. Throw a 7 in the chat for me. If I'm coming in solid, man, do your brother that solid, man. Let me know. 7 in the chat. Would you please? Would you please? It's like we made mention of before. In 1 Thessalonians 5. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3, right? Let's start at 1. I appreciate y'all, family. I see them 7s booming. Yes. All praises, right? 1 Thessalonians 5. We're going to start at verse 1. We'll read down to 3. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." We always have to be reminded of that, because many a times, man, our people love sleepwalking. Our people love being on, every narcotic known to man, trying to forget their woes, trying to forget that they're in hell, trying to forget that they've been afflicted, trying to forget that they've been in bondage. So in the physical, our people are, well-known practices of what's known as escapism, and trying to find out different ways to sedate their minds to move away from reality and not recognize what's going on in real time. So when you're looking at our people sleeping in the spirit, yes, our people are dead sleep, which is part of the prophecy in Isaiah 29. We'll get that in a second. But Paul reiterated what Yahushua told us, that we have to always be on guard. He said, "Therefore watch and pray," in Mark the 13th chapter. Therefore watch and pray, right? Watch. Why? Because he said that he's going to come back as a thief in the night. So with that being understood, that means that we're going to be caught off guard. It's going to come at a time where things are going to seem peaceful. They say have a good night's sleep, nighty-night, count the sheep, all that other stuff, which is another ironic thing. I was meditating on that a long time ago. The concept of you can't sleep, count sheep. Why do they say count sheep? I'm gonna give y'all a quick second, man. Quick little trivia. Quick trivia. Let me see who's paying attention. The concept of when you can't sleep, count sheep so that you can go to sleep. Have y'all heard that before? Throw a seven in the chat if you've heard that one before. If you can't go to sleep, go ahead and count some sheep. Let me see. I'm watching for some answers, man. It's not a trick question. I'm just wondering if y'all are in the spirit of knowing what's happening. Where the origins of that could have came from. Why they decide to use sheep as a concept to say you can count sheep and it'll eventually help you go to sleep. Okay, I see some of y'all saying you heard that concept before. And the Quab said you'll never get to 144,000. You almost there. You almost there. Give me some more feedback. Counting your blessings? Nope. Nope. It's close, but not quite there. Close, but not quite there. Come on, y'all are an intelligent group. Y'all be moving in the spirit with me. Why did they say count sheep so that you can go to sleep? I'm gonna get. Don't be afraid to throw an answer out there and it's wrong. The card says because they want to keep Israel asleep, watching over the sheep as a shepherd. Not quite. Kohav, yes, the sheep refers to us. And it is close to saying because they want to keep Israel asleep. Let me help y'all out real quick. We're going to come back to 1 Thessalonians 10. It's very simple. Isaiah 10:22. It says, for though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. So when you're looking at this, matter of fact, there's another scripture that calls us an innumerable host. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea. So can anybody count each grain of sand? Each grain of sand? Will you ever get to the end? For though thy people be as the sand of the sea. Let me see. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong. I might be spelling it. Oh, where's that scripture at? But with the concept of you understanding where we're coming from, what the scriptures acknowledge is that Israel is as the sand of the sea. So if you're ever looking at a number that you'll never reach the end of, that's why they say you can keep counting. You'll never get to. You'll never get to the end. So as long as you keep counting the sheep, you'll never be able to. You're going to eventually fall asleep because you're never going to get to the exact number because you can't get to the end. All right. I'm gonna find that other scripture too. I don't know why. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong. Know that there is a scripture that calls us an innumerable multitude or innumerable. Let me see. I don't know why I can't remember that one. If somebody remembers that scripture, or the Most High calls us an innumerable multitude or an innumerable host, is one of those two. I just can't remember uh, off the top of my head exactly where it is. But as a little bit of a trivia, that's where the concept comes into play. Learning and understanding that you can't count Israel, right? Slowly but surely, that's all we're talking about. Can't count Israel. Here we go. It's a second, it's a seven. Yeah, I think that's it. It's in the Apocrypha. Second Ezra, chapter 7. And yeah, because if you go up to let's start at verse 6. This is just off the cuff, man. Move with me in the spirit, y'all. Move with me in the spirit. We're gonna get back to it. You found second Ezra 13:34. That might be another one. Let me see. But the one in second Ezra chapter 7 might be the one I really want to embrace. But okay, second Ezra chapter 7. And we're gonna read verse 6, and then we'll read down to verse 10, then we'll drop down to verse 70. It says, "There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water." So this is the path to the kingdom, right? This is the path for the great city, the city of Jerusalem, city of truth, that it was built for the children of Israel. John 14:2, Yahweh said he goes to prepare a place for us with many mansions, roughly paraphrasing, right? So this city is the kingdom of Yahweh, our kingdom that's promised to us. Now it says in order to get there, you got to walk a straight and narrow path, because if you move too far to the right, you're going to get burnt. You move too far to the left, you're going to drown. This is why even Christ told us in Matthew the 7th chapter and the 13th verse, he said that straight is the way that leads into life, and few there be that find it. Paraphrasing that verse. He said, look, wide is the gate that leads to destruction, and narrow is the gate that leads to life, and few there be that find it. So where everybody's going, the big crowds and the massive amounts of followings and all that other stuff, the Lord said, that ain't where I'm at. That ain't where I'm, I'm not going to be found there. It's not that easy to come unto me. It's going to be a long, hard journey, a straight and narrow path that, is going to test our balances. You may fall, you may stumble, fall to one knee, but you don't fall too far to the right or to the left. You're able to gain your balance back up, stand back up, continue on your journey and your walk. That's the path that we all pray to be on. Verse 8, "In one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once." So one at a time. So as you count them sheep, one sheep, two sheep, three, right? Got to count them one by one. Verse 8, "And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for inheritance, if he shall never pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?" So anything worth, going through some sacrifices, some turmoil is worth having. It's not as easy as the Christians like to, promote. All you got to do is have faith and believe. All you got to do is plead the blood of Jesus. Hey, let's go out to this dirty lake and go get dunked into under some water, be baptized and be new. Now you're in the spirit all of a sudden, and you got the keys to one of the 12 gates. No, it don't work that way. It says that we're going to have to go through. It says there's only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there can only one man go at a time. And he says, if this city is going to be given to somebody for an inheritance, because even Galatians, the 4th chapter, the 3rd and the 4th chapter, talks about us being heirs to the throne. An heir is someone who receives an inheritance, which is only given to the children of Israel. See, that's where the Christians go wrong at too. The Jews and the Gentiles, we become joint heirs, and we're together all of a sudden. No, see, the heathen, they ain't paying their dues. How the hell do you expect to be talking about Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68, going through all the curses and everything else? We're going through hell currently, living it out. And all of a sudden, the rewards are if we endure unto the end, and elect of us are going to be saved. And all of a sudden, the heathen can just be grafted in. Don't have to go through none of them curses. They're good to go. Just off of association of saying we believe too. I want in. Like Smokey said on Friday, you didn't put in on this man. We're not sharing. The inheritance is given unto the children of Israel. Romans 9 tells us that as well. We was given the laws, the covenants, the service of God, all of those things based upon the covenant and that inheritance that was given to us, as we're going to see in a second. He said the earth is going to be made for our sakes. The world. If this city now was given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, if you don't go through the afflictions and the proving and the trials. Zechariah 13:8 says the Most High said he's going to bring forth the children of Israel like silver and gold is refined, the furnace of affliction. We'd have to go through those things in order to receive our inheritance. This isn't the story of the spoiled rich kid who acts a fool, and you know what? He's got his his father's inheritance signed over to him, and he can just go inherit it and blow it all on hookers and coke and everything else and spending spree. This is not that story. In order to receive what's set before us, we've got to go through some things, which is danger, proving ourselves. And it says, how shall he receive it as inheritance? If we didn't earn it, then it ain't for us to have. Verse 10, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. So that's our portion, our inheritance is this great city, this great kingdom. All right. Let me drop down and get right to verse 7, just to get to the point. Going through all of this just to talk about, where did they come up with the concept of count sheep? Getting back down here, talking about the children of Israel, it says, verse 67, it says, for if he shall not multiply his mercies, the world would not continue with them that inherit therein. So if the mercies of the Lord wouldn't be applied for us, then we wouldn't be able to continue in that inheritance. That's why Christ even said that the time needs to be cut short for the elect's sake, lest no flesh shall be saved, in Matthew the 24th chapter. Y'all remember that? So the mercies of the Most High is important, because when all hell breaks loose, it's going to be set on the path of ultimate destruction, scorched earth, everything gone. Although the mercies of the Lord is going to retain a remnant so that the inheritance of the Lord can still be given over to the elect. That's through the multiplying of his mercies. Verse 68, it says, and he pardoneth, for if he did not so, of his goodness, that they have committed iniquities might be eased of them, the 10,000 part of men should not remain living. And being a judge, and 10,000 part of men is just a reflective number of the elect, of the chosen people who've endured unto the end. Right? These are the ones who are going to be spared and remain in the land of the living. Verse 69, it says, and being judged, if he should not forgive them that are cured with his word and put out the multitude of contentions, there should be very few left peradventure in an innumerable multitude. So the children of Israel is that innumerable multitude. The children of Israel are as the sands of the sea, where a remnant is going to return back. Where were we at? Oops, I think I want to back to Isaiah 10 real quick. And 22. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. A remnant is going to return. It's going to be an elect number. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. So that remnant is going to overflow with righteousness. The ones who were saved by the word of the Most High. Didn't we just got to reading that in 2 Ezra 7? Who's the word? Yahweh Shai. Right? Also, by committing ourselves to the word, which is following after the word, the laws, the commandments, the statutes, the judgments of the Most High, the fear of the Lord. Those things are going to represent our salvation. So Everything we look at little concepts like that, man, and kind of overlook it, don't even think about it, and not realizing much more of the concepts that this world comes up with is all surrounded around you so-called blacks and Hispanics, Native Americans. And ironically, like I think who was it? I think it was uh Zakar made mention about Israel staying asleep. Well, yeah, definitely, because when you look at Isaiah 29, uh, and let's read 9 and 10, that is exactly what happened to the children of Israel. These sheep that represent a sedated sleep mind state can be reflected on how to stay asleep. Well, let's talk about the sheep that were put to sleep, the sheep that you can never count, you know. So collectively, when we piece together, precept upon precept, utilizing your comments as precepts, it all comes together, you know. Isaiah 29 and 9. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. So this is why I made like the metaphorical uh, understanding regarding, how Israel, man, loves to be sedated. You know, it is almost like we're the walking dead out here just living. No direction, no guidance, no understanding, just doing whatever, stumbling around through life. But the Lord said, yeah, our people are out there drunk and they staggering, but they ain't drunk. They're spiritually drunk, spiritually intoxicated. Verse 10, for the Most High Yahweh have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers have he covered. See that? So the spirit, we're in the spiritual sleep. Verse 11, and the vision of all has become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. So yeah, there was a seal on the knowledge of ourselves, a seal on the knowledge of history for a time until the Lord released that seal for understanding to flourish. Even Daniel, I believe it's the 12th chapter, says knowledge will uh, go forth. What was that? Daniel 12. He said, see that verse 9? It says, and he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Right? So this is how we see that the Most High sealed up the knowledge of the Lord and salvation and whatnot. And where's the scripture? It says the many. Just go for here we go, verse 4. It says, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So when we see in Isaiah 29, it says that, even from the learned man, he said the word is going to be shut up, sealed until when? The end, which is we're in the end times now. This is why you're seeing the awakening of the children of Israel growing stronger. You're seeing celebrities making their confessions. You're seeing, the numbers of the children of Israel growing in mass. I mean, I'm still seeing on my feed on YouTube. I might not be subscribed to, brothers' channels or whatnot, but I see a number of different camps I never heard of. But they're alive. They're awake. They're doing their part, fulfilling their lot, gathering the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Many are running to and fro looking for answers. With the invention of the internet, the information highway, the crystal ball that everybody's got that you can swipe and wipe. Whatever's on your mind, you can tell it. You can ask it, especially with the invention of AI now. All you got to do is ask the question, and you're getting some, voice talking back to you. Be it Gemini, be it Siri, be it Alexa, Chat GPT, Open AI. We just ask these things anything, and they're coming up with all kinds of stuff for you. Not to sound old, but as the old saying goes, back in my day, nah, you had to go digging, man. You had to throw your hard hat on. You had to go, grab your lunch pail, your hammer, your nails. You had to go out there, man. Your drill, your saw. You had to go out there to build. As a youngster said, you had to get it from the mud for real. You know, we talking going to libraries, traveling to find information. You know, going through the the bibliographies and the footnotes and everything else from various books, trying to track down authors of particular books to see if we can order them or see if we can pay visits to the authors. Man, I remember the elders, man. My elders, Rashaf, my former elder Ibar, who's resting in the Lord, had to go to one of the what's that guy's name? Elder, who was it? Raymond Katz. Y'all went to his house, and he had a damn near house full of books, and was so excited that people was even taking interest in his works. He gave the elder who was Esau Edom that book for free. He was like, "Man, I'm so glad y'all reading my works. Here, take this, take that." Nowadays, you looking at Amazon and you ordering these books for who was there to track down the actual authors, man, and go pull up on the dude to go get books and resources. You know, this is all we see now. Many is running to and fro, and knowledge is increasing because of the avenues of knowledge that's being presented now. It's amazing. You know, if you be on the journey that, you know, myself and other brothers have been on over the years, you see this for real happening as knowledge is increasing, man. Young brothers coming up, powerful, mighty in the word, out there handling business in the streets and online, and, you know, developing and building congregations and doing what they need to do, man. All praise to the Most High, because that's where we're at now, right? But that's what it is, you know. People being asleep, coming up in the knowledge and doing what we need to do. And who would have known? We just had a small little lesson, all surrounded around counting sheep to go to sleep, right? All based upon it, man. But that's how the Spirit moves. All right, 1 Thessalonians 5. Let's get back over to it. Can you imagine? We're only talking about the first slide. We ain't even dug deep yet. Strap in them seatbelts, man. Wipe your feet if you haven't already. You know what time it is. Let me make sure everybody's ride with me, man. Am I moving too fast? Are y'all with me? Throw a 7 in the chat, man, if I'm making some sense. The pieces of the puzzle is coming together, man, and y'all with me. Throw a 7 in the chat, man. Let me know. All right. My brother Ramayak in the house, man. Shalom, man. Brother Byron in the house. Yeah, I'm gonna tell him, man. You know, I got a brother, man, waiting for that dang ice cream, man. You know, he always making a damn guest appearance every time I pull up. He come over here always disrupting the damn lives. All right, I'm making sense. All praises, man. All praises for the understanding, edification, and we moving now. All right, boom. So let's get back over here. 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 2. It says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall cometh as a thief in the night." So we don't want to be them lost sheep, man, that's out there still asleep. You know, that spiritual bond that we have and that love affair that you got with the Sandman, you got to cut that off. Cut off your relationship with the Sandman. Wake up. Be in the spirit. Be vigilant. Right? 1 Peter 5 and 8 tells us, "Be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary, the devil, walketh about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." You don't want to be caught out there, man, getting devoured by Satan. Stay alert. Because as time seems as though, even though there's so much stuff going on in the world, you know, you got some people just looking for destruction. They just looking for bombs to drop. They just looking for the imminent announcement of World War III and nukes. And if that ain't it, I'm still going to go out here and get mine and do what I need to do and live my life. No, you got to be watching and paying attention to what's going on in the background. You hear something fall, you hear something creeping. You've been in a particular situations and the house is quiet and you hear the boards creaking and you're like, what does that sound? You know, sometimes it's just the house shifting. You know, if you're in an apartment, man, it could be your neighbor upstairs. You're stomping and moving too much, man. That ain't something you sleep through. You wonder what the hell's going on. Your neighbors is arguing. You might be a little nervous. What's going on, man? Is it a domestic situation, or do you just stay asleep and you say, "Oh, there they go again"? Jamel and Tanya over there acting damn fool again. Let me put my pillow over my head. Now, who knows, man? Jamel might go postal, smoke Tanya, and then start spraying up the whole damn building. Who knows? But if you sleep, you might be a casualty. Verse 3, it says, "For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So when things seem quiet, things seem cool, that's when things get turned up. So let's not get caught slipping. All right. So on the war front, the U.S. military, they're out there conducting airstrikes against the Islamic State and operatives in Somalia. What happened to this Winston Churchill? I don't know if that's the right president, or is it what's the other guy? I think Winston Churchill, one of these little peacetime presidents, man, that, running around talking about how much they want peace, they don't want no problems. And but wasn't that one of the promises that Agent Orange was running out there? He's going to stop all the wars. Millions upon millions of people are dying in Ukraine and Russia. This should have never happened. Oh, but Gaza and all that, we need to stop all of that. Meanwhile, he's still dropping bombs on the little dirty, stinking, skinny Somalians over there. They're over there eating flies, worshiping Allah. What's wrong with that? And the U.S. is over there dropping bombs. I thought he wanted peace. I thought he was trying to establish a democracy worldwide and just trying to get everybody to get in the business of making money and friendships. And oh no, the U.S. is still carrying out bombs and attacks on the Islamic State. See, that's the one thing. And I made mention of it before. Agent Orange is running around talking about all the wars that he's going to stop. He's going to end the Gaza, the Palestinian Israeli conflict. He's going to end the Ukraine and Russian conflict. He's going to end and put things in perspective to stop the war in what else did he say? I forgot whichever one, but I know the one that he said he couldn't stop was with the war was Iran. He was like, basically, man, that's a religious, zealous war that's not in the frameworks of business. So that's got to be handled differently. That's funny. Yeah, they said they call them skinnies. Yeah, God, that's funny. I forgot about that. Black Hawk Down, that's a good one. See, that's how Esau look at the damn Somalians. And the words from Black Hawk Down, the skinnies are not worth 100 camels. Yeah, so but them damn skinnies tore them damn Edomites up with that damn crashed helicopter. But yeah, they getting bombed on over there. So look at this. The U.S. military conducted airstrikes against Islamic State operatives in Somalia, the first attacks in the African nation during President Trump's second term. So he's already engaging in wars. Meanwhile, running around talking about how he wants to stop war. You know how that works. When he's speaking fair, believe him not. Because there's 7 abominations in his heart, man. He got no problem, man, hitting up all of the melanated nations. The Hamites, man, they can get hit up. Like I said before, he's got one melanated heathen in his whole cabinet, which is the cat running the FBI, Kash Patel. Other than that, he don't want no dirty, stinking niggas' hands on nothing he's got going on, and does not want them having no parts in making America great again. Unless you're going out there enslaving and serving for them, So Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said Saturday that the strikes by U.S. Africa Command, or AFRICOM, they've been over there occupying and getting busy since pre-Obama. U.S. Africa Command were directed by Trump and coordinated by Somalia's government. An initial assessment by the Pentagon indicated that, quote, multiple operatives were killed. The Pentagon said it assessed that no civilians were harmed in the airstrikes or in the strikes. Of course, they're going to say that. How can they assess that? As many, weddings that they done bombed and killed people, as many people they can't, don't understand and know who's a friendly and who's not, who's a skinny and who's not. They don't know. Then they'll come back and say, oops, we did kill, 10 civilians. Send them a little change. Tell them we're sorry. Like they did with that that withdrawal from Afghanistan, and they bombed some what was it? can't remember if it was a wedding, it was something, but they killed like 20 some odd people, women and children, and then the U.S. came back and said, "Oh, sorry, maybe we can slide you some money." Wrong target. But look at this. Trump in a post on social media said a senior IS planner and recruits were targeted in the operation. Quote, the strikes destroyed the caves they live in and killed many terrorists without. Trump is the ultimate troll, man. He loves trolling online. He loves trolling, and any little conference that he can get, any interview, he wants to talk crazy, right? The strikes destroyed the caves they live in, as if Esau didn't come from the caves his damn self, and killed many terrorists without in any way harming civilians. Our military has targeted this ISIS attack planner for years, but Biden and his cronies wouldn't act quickly enough to get the job done. I did. He's so boastful, so proud, man. He wants credit for everything. But isn't that Esau for you? The colonizer, the destroyer, he constantly wants to, take what's not his, stamp his name on it, right? Now, look what also he says, quote, the message to ISIS and all others who would attack Americans is that, quote, we will find you and we will kill you. Well, in typical Esau fashion, because what characteristic was he known for and given in the spirit of his birth? A cunning hunter. Remember that? A cunning hunter. So he's going to track down. That's why he said, we will find you. Why can he boastfully say that in all caps? Because he's confident in his hunting skills. If he can find somebody from a follicle of hair, from a fingerprint smudge, from the pattern of a shoe that got left behind, if he can piece things together from, the trajectory of bullet impacts that entered in from 100 yards away and entered into a building or a home, and you can tell how fast it was, the caliber it was, you can see what it went. I mean, this dude got it all, man. He's got the radar detection, infrared. I mean, he got it all. Heat sensories. He got the robot dog sniffing out every damn thing. I mean, when he says we'll find you, he's exemplifying and coming in to embracing his inner ancient spirit of being a cunning hunter. We will find you and we will kill you, living by the sword. That's Esau all day. All day. Let's move on. Now, one thing is, and this is under fair use. Fair use, right? And I'm playing this in advance because this is interesting. Fair use, this for commentary, teaching, and scholarship. All right. This is the essence of him showing forth his forked tongue. Now, this is from maybe like 6 years ago when he was president before. And the title of this is from the Young Turks YouTube. And it says, Trump admits he doesn't tell the truth. Well, tell us something we don't know.
Were you a patient of OBGYN Dr. Barry Brock?
Give me 1 second.
Dozens of women now allege sexual misconduct during...
Right. The progressive revolution doesn't stop when the live show ends. Join the home of progressives and become a TYT member today. Click the link.
This is coming in. Let me know.
Recently asked, hey, I thought you said you were never going to tell a lie. Listen to what he says. The ending is very important and very telling, and then I'm going to show you some of his lies afterwards. So let's watch.
You remember well in the campaign, you made a promise.
In this journey, I will never lie to you. I will never.
That's a lie already. I remember playing this years ago in a different current event class I did at our old congregation. Now, he can't not tell the truth. He says he in this journey, I'll never tell a lie. Let him
worried about hacks, DDoS attacks, and malware affecting your WordPress site? Kinsta keeps your site.
The progressive revolution doesn't stop when the live show ends. Join the home of progressives and become a TYT member today. click the link below. So Donald Trump, being interviewed recently, asked, hey, I thought you said you were never going to tell a lie. Listen to what he says. The ending is very important and very telling, and then I'm going to show you some of his lies afterwards. Let's watch.
You remember well in the campaign, you made a promise.
In this journey, I will never lie to you. I will never tell you something I do not believe.
Can you tell me now, honestly, have you kept to that promise at all times? Have you always?
Well, I try. I mean, I do try. I think you try too. You say things about me that are not.
see how he deflected that? Well, I try. I mean, hey, even you, hey, you act like me. Don't try to act like you tell the truth all the time, man. You a devil just like me. Don't try that. Don't paint me in that picture. We're both the same. See how quick he was to deflect that? Well, I try. But hold on. How do you try when you just emphatically said you will never lie?
Well, I try. I mean, I do try. I think you try too. You say things about me that are not necessarily correct. I do try, and I always want to tell the truth. When I can, I tell the truth.
When I can.
When I can. Well, who's holding him back from telling the truth? As if he's under some sort of gag order, you know. He's under some gag order, man. Well, I try, you know. I want to tell the truth when I can. Really? I beg to differ, man. Psalms 58:3 says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. As soon as they're born. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. See, what comes out of their mouth is pure poison. The forked tongue mouth of the so-called white man he's born speaking lies. It's inherited within him. As soon as they be born, they go astray, speaking lies. It comes up. They're raised in that environment. The spirit of lying, deception is within them. They're comfortable in it. This is why you have the term when somebody tells a quote white lie. Why is it white? Huh? What does that mean? Oh, it's just a little white lie. You never heard of a black lie, have you? Brown lie, have you? No. Why is it associated with him? It wasn't that big deal. It was just a little white lie. Yeah. Why? Because it's associated with him and his people, man. So he says, I tell the truth when I can, you know. When I can. Is that because, you know, if Satan tells you, okay, you can tell the truth here, I'm going to let you speak fair. But if anybody believes you, they shouldn't. You know, the scriptures tell you, never trust thine enemy. But, you know, many of our people just fall for the okie doke, man. They want to believe that he's good, man. There's some good in him. Leave him alone. When he can, he'll tell us the truth. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Well, the Lord said, don't ever trust him, man. Because even if he does tell the truth, there's 7 abominations that he's got to clean up that one truth, to destroy that one lie that he told you. I mean, that one truth that he told you. 7 abominations to compound the one time that he had to come clean. You do what I'm saying? So there you go. Now, why do I go there? Because the scriptures say, hold on, what happened here? No,
5 work.
I don't need that. Shalaki, y'all. Trying to get over here.
The progressive.
I'm trying to get here, okay? I'm trying to get to this next point, because the scriptures say, hold on, in Proverbs 29, when we're looking at what's going on in this administration right now, it's all based upon, as the head goes, so does the body, right? Now, Proverbs 29:11 says, a fool uttereth all his mind, you know, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. So that's wisdom in itself. It says a fool uttereth all his mind. What does that mean? That means that a fool goes on rants. A fool will run around here and just rant, all his feelings, all his emotions, man. He's caught up in here doing all, you know, whining and running his mouth about everything. And that's something that you see now, especially in this internet age, man. Everybody's podcasters, everybody's doing gossip shows, everybody's doing, all this other foolishness, man, commenting on everybody else's lives and what else is going on. The Lord said, that's a fool that does that. Uttereth all his mind. You look into them terms, uttereth all his mind, it means basically it breaks down saying that all he does is rant his feelings. And it says, but a wise man knows how to keep it in. A wise man knows how to control himself. A wise man has rule over his spirit. A wise man doesn't run out and, hit the gossip trails and trying to sip tea with everybody on the internet. A wise man knows how to keep it in until afterwards. Wise man don't run around bumping his gums. Wise man says, okay, I ain't got to run to the internet and tell everybody what happened in my life. I ain't got to run to the internet and tell everybody what happened to him and her life. I ain't got to run to the internet and tell. Nah, because only a fool would do that. That's what they call clout chasing in today's terms, right? Pandering for sympathy, pandering for love, pandering for attention. And the world embraces those type of things. That's why Christ even said, man, ye are not of the world, because the world will love his own. If the world is embracing all of that activity, then that means you're probably moving more worldly and more carnally. If those things are of interest to you, or those things that, will motivate your spirit. Verse 12, it says, if a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. You say some of them, a few of them, there's a select. No, everyone that follows after the orders of the commander-in-chief, i.e. Agent Orange, i.e., the chump, i.e. Donald J. Trump, right? Says if a ruler hearken to lies, all the servants are wicked, man. So when you see this guy right here, Tom Man, incoming Trump borders are vows to wipe cartels off the face of the earth. This is what I'm talking about. Border wars. America's ready to engage in war with the cartels. And I've been saying this for years, man, since at least 2014, 2015, in making comparisons to wars and rumors of wars, with end time prophecies, when Yahweh Shai acknowledged the signs and the times that we're supposed to look for in the end. I always make mention about the border wars, the drug wars, the cartel wars. At one point in time, I think it was in 2016, they said that 60,000 people had died over the drug cartel conflicts from 2006 to 2016, I believe. When we're talking about in Mexico alone, I want to see if I can find that real quick, because I want to see. See, look at it. This is from 2020, but these numbers came out way before this. A new toll in Mexico's drug war. More than 61,000 vanished. Oh, it says since 1964. No. Yeah, see this? Look. The government said 61,637 people have disappeared since 1964. The vast majority since 2006, when President Felipe Calderon began cracking down on drug cartels. Yeah, I knew I wasn't tripping. Your brother still got a little bit of a memory. You dig what I'm saying? Mexico's war on drugs, more than 60,000 people disappeared. See that? More than 60,000 disappeared in Mexico since the start of the country's war on drugs in 2006. Yeah. So why would we not include that in a war? When death tolls are rising at that particular rate, you talking about in 2006, damn near 40,000 people getting put to death? I mean, when they said the majority of that 61,000 were from 2006, and I remember seeing this and reporting on this, like I said, it was like 2016, I think I first saw these numbers. I can't find the original article, but there you go. Trying to see if there's any way. See, this one from 2013. Yeah, but the numbers are real, man. The numbers are real. That's part of the wars and rumors of wars. And now we're seeing America getting ready to engage in that war, because you know what ends up happening? They're going to come and connect with China, because China's, moving fentanyl with the cartels. You know, it's a trickle down theory, to get to the head of the snake when it comes down to this. I mean, America's been involved in the drug trade since the early 80s. Everybody knows about what happened with, Oliver North and the Iran Contra scandal, Rick Ross and what's the guy's name that was working as an undercover agent? Blandon, I believe his name was. What's the Edomite that blew it all open? They got put to death. Gary Webb. Gary Webb was a reporter, man, that blew it all open, man. And next you know, he found himself with two shots to the head that they called a suicide. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out how you still got the wherewithal to shoot yourself a second time in the head. That's a mystery to me. So America getting ready to engage in the border war with the cartels, and led by Tom Homan, the president-elect Donald Trump's pick for the border czar, shared his plans to handle the nation's borders during a Monday appearance on Fox News, vowing to wipe cartels, quote, off the face of the earth. That's a tall order, man. That's a tall order, because you're going to be dealing with guerrilla warfare. They got all them underground tunnels. They've got military on payroll. They've got an innumerable amount of crash dummy, young sicarios out there trying to make a name for themselves and get a little money to feed their families. They've got people over here in the States already. They're running the jails. I mean, it can get nasty if it really goes down. And we know America, could easily unleash hell on earth. And they don't care what you think they care about wiping out some little town in Sinaloa or whatever, and because they can easily say, just like they'll do in Afghanistan, hey, they were all part of it. We didn't know who was friendlies and who wasn't. They all look the same. Whoops. So Homan, the former acting Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director, will be charged with resolving an immigration crisis which has seen many U.S. sanctuary cities overwhelmed under the Biden-Harris administration. He explained he personally witnessed some of the heinous crimes committed by cartels, such as raping minors. Quote, these cartels are animals, and that's why President Trump is going to take them off the face of the earth. Well, that's Homan. That's their declaration. We're going to see. Now, yeah, Naquan, I'm not saying they're going to unleash the whole military. They don't need the whole military to take on the cartels. Yeah, I agree with you that they're not going to, do no major invasions and all of that. They won't need it. But the fact that the retaliatory things that the cartels could do with sleeper cells and things like that over here could make bigger implications for what could go on over here in the States, what could go on in prison. I don't know. We're just looking at everything in the spirit. Scriptures say not to be ignorant of any matter, small or great. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. We'll see what happens. But, the animals got to be tamed. Isn't that what Hillary Clinton said? That the little black youths need to be brought to heel. Esau still recognizes these so-called blacks and Hispanics, man, as animals. Still can, looks at us as 3/5 of a human. And that matters. And they got no problems expressing it. Oh, no, I just meant the cartel. I didn't mean everybody. Just like when he said, everybody that's coming from these whole countries, talking about Haiti, talking about Mexico, talking about Venezuela, talking about, places in West Africa or whatnot. Every place where the melanated, Jakes from, Israel, they all ish holes. Yeah. There you go. All right, so let's move on. Now, here we go. They had an incident. Mexican drug cartel, they were shooting at the Border Patrol agents. Remember, what was it, a couple of weeks ago? There was a supposed migrant that killed a Border Patrol agent up in Maine, I believe it was. So there's already violence happening over this whole immigration and border war. Let's look at this.
They're implementing another work platform.
Really?
Again.
Yeah.
Don't they have better ways to waste our time?
And welcome back, everyone. Here live now from Fox. We do have some breaking news that we want to bring to you from Fox News' Bill Mallusion reporting of a situation happening at the border right now. He is reporting per multiple law enforcement sources within the last hour. Border Patrol agents near Fronton, Texas, were fired upon from Mexico by suspected cartel gunmen as a group of illegal aliens were being brought across the river. I'm told that Border Patrol returned fire. Nobody hit on either side right there. And we are.
So it doesn't sound like the cartel is backing down from Tom Homan and his threats. You know, sound like they're ready to accept the challenge on certain elements of border crossings and the business of human trafficking. You know, they're ready to go, firing off warning shots, doing what they need to do. So let's continue.
We're going to continue on with this as Texas DPS tells Bill Mallusion that they are now patrolling the area and has a drone in the air and can see Mexican military assets now staging on the other side of the river there. So again, we are going to be following this story here for you on Live Now from Fox. It is very fluid at this moment, but this comes at a time when big changes are happening at the White House when it comes to border security, and a lot of these measures are taking place pretty much on a daily basis. We're also seeing mass deportations happening really now every day, as just yesterday more than 900 people were picked up.
You know, it's so funny, man. You see all of these images and you never see the Chinese, which I've showed y'all the report, man. 60 Minutes even did a report talking about they're the biggest immigrants and migrants crossing through the border. Had it on video. They running through. Never see them getting marched to the border, telling them, get back. We're going to take you back to Beijing. You going back to Shanghai. Now, you don't ever see them, man. They keeping them tucked away. They got safe havens already set up for them in Chinatown. It's a Chinatown in damn near every major metropolitan city. They tucked away, you know. Well, where are all them Ukrainians at, man? They rushed them in there and granted them legal status or visas right away when the war jumped off, claiming they're refugees. I mean, we just got to reading. You got 60,000 people dead from cartel wars, and you're trying to tell these people they're not refugees from a war? Imagine that. No, they're animals. They're scum. They need to get back. No, this is the war that's being declared on our people, man. And y'all heard the comparisons and the scenarios, man. How can they be illegal in a land that was originally their own? Just because America bought and paid for certain elements of Texas and Mexico and fought in the Spanish-American War to gain access to lands does not mean that they owned it, that they was not the original inhabitants. They're the illegal immigrants that came over here. They're the illegal aliens that came over here, right? And now here they are dictating policy about how they're going to regulate the indigenous peoples of the land and who can stay and who can go, right? So let's continue. I'm not going to play any more of that, but just for the value of seeing that shots have been fired. They already have a casualty of a Border Patrol agent on deck. Tom Homan, he's out here, you know, laying down threats, backed by Agent Orange, saying we're going to wipe the cartels off the map. But this is why also you can understand the lie that the chump says. See, the chump said that he could stop the Ukraine war in 24 hours. Remember that? That was his campaign promise. I will end it very quickly. 24 hours, it'd be over with. It should have never happened. Millions upon millions have died. Remember that? Has that happened yet? No. Why? Because Isaiah 57:21 says that there is no peace, saith Yahweh, to the wicked. He cannot know peace. He cannot live in peace. We've done the math. We looked at how long America has established peace since its inception in quote unquote 1776. Anywhere between 15 to 17 years, depending on the source. Out of the 248 plus years that America has been established, only 15 to 17 years of those have been in peace. Outside of that, continual war. So you think any of our goofy people running around here with Latinos for Trump and blacks for Trump think that he got your back and he's got your best interest at heart when he's running around talking about how he's going to bring peace on earth and end all the wars? No, he can't. There is no peace to the wicked, says the Most High. He will constantly be embroiled in war. This is why we just got to seeing the airstrikes happening over there in Somalia. He's running around talking about how he's trying to stop peace. But peace with who? White on white crime? Yeah, probably. Ukraine and Russia. Oh, he wants to stop that, right? But when it comes down to hitting up them sand niggas, oh yeah, hit them up. The skinnies over there in Somalia, hit them up, no problem. Oh, hitting up them beaners down there in New Mexico, yeah, hit them up. So there never will be peace with him. The Most High won't allow it. He doesn't know peace. All he knows is war. Right? So don't believe this foolishness when he's running around talking about he's gonna stop the wars. Right? He can't do it. It's not in him. All right, let's move on.
And welcome back, everyone.
Now, here's another portion dealing with war.
When it came time to take this to the next level, I knew that I had to make a website, and Wix was.
The EU chief. It says Europe needs to prepare for war with Russia, says the EU chief. There you go, the little sassy Edomite woman. The head of the European Union. It's something. Ladies, if you're offended by the truth, man, cover your ears. But this is why the Most High does not have no women in charge. You can't have them in charge, man. You never know where, how they want to try to assert themselves as being equal men. We want to show that we're not afraid to go to war. We're not, remember when Hillary Clinton, when she was running for president, she wanted to go to war with Iran. She was part of the campaign in killing Gaddafi. Remember that? Oh, we came, we saw, he died. And she gets to laughing. There's something about women. I love some war, man. These little slimy sisters running around here, man, setting up Jakes online, set them up for a date, and then, having somebody jump in there and rob them, getting them put to death. You see them stories all the time. Love seeing some violence, man. Love seeing somebody get put to death. So here's another woman. She's saying we got to get ready to go to war with Europe. I mean, go to the EU. We need to get ready to go to war with Russia. Why can she run out there and just be so bold? Her ass ain't gonna be out there strapped up with a damn, a helmet and a vest on and an M4. She ain't running out there. But she would love to sacrifice some lives to get on out there. The EU's foreign policy chief spoke about Russia at the annual conference of the European Defense Agency. So let's listen to this. She's talking big stuff about how Russia needs to learn.
People say I'm a Russia hawk. Well, I like to say that I'm a realist. For too long, we have offered Russia alternatives, hoping that it would choose cooperation and economic prosperity for its people over fraudulent imperialistic ambitions.
So she's saying for too long, they've offered Russia the access to economic opportunities instead of, basically being a dictatorship and stealing and taking everything, which ain't happening. Russia's economy has pretty much been flourishing. Europe is dependent upon Russian oil for them to survive. And she's acting as if they're offering him something that he needs. We're offering him economic opportunities. And Putin's saying, what? I'm over here balling. Look at you need me. Unreal. But let's go.
But instead, Russia's defense industry is churning out tanks, glide bombs, artillery shells in vast quantities. Together, EU member states' economies are 17 times bigger than that of Russia's economy. We must force his hand to show him that he will lose.
Now, she's saying EU members 17 times. She's talking collectively, multiple countries together. Yeah, you can add that up. She's acting like there's 17 other countries that got more money than Russia. Stop it.
Stop him before he attacks one of our own. Europe's failure to invest in military capabilities also sends a dangerous signal to the aggressor. Weakness invites them in. President Trump is right to say that we don't spend enough. It's time to invest. We all need to be realistic about Russia. Russia poses existential threat to our security today, tomorrow, and for as long as we underinvest in our defense. Time is not on Russia's side, but it's not necessarily on our side either, because we are not yet doing enough. Second, there should be no doubt in any of our minds that we need to spend more to prevent war. But we also need to prepare for war.
So in 1 minute, she's talking peace. Oh, we need to do, she's saying Russia's running out of time. Who's establishing this time clock? Right? She's saying Russia's running out of time. And then she said, but we're also running out of time. And we need to make sure we're prepared. Let's back it up real quick.
War. To prevent war. But we also need to prepare for war.
Well, there you have it. Out the mouth of a little fork-tongued demon herself. We also need to prepare for war. Now, this guy right here, Agent Orange, he's been running around talking about how he's trying to stop the wars. But look what this says. Trump, Europe ties NATO under pressure. Now, because of his stance, he came in telling NATO and all the NATO countries they need to increase their defense spending by 2.5% of their gross domestic product. They need to invest 2.5% of their income on building up more defense weaponries in preparation for war. Many of the NATO countries are like, look, we ain't got it. We ain't got it like that. And Trump is like, well, you better cut corners and sacrifice because all hell's going to break loose. You just heard the EU chief say you got to get prepared for war. Now Trump is running around telling that all the NATO countries, you got to start investing some more money in your defense spending because we're getting ready to make it happen. Well, not necessarily getting ready. Let's put it like that. They're saying they want to be on the defense just in case. Just in case. And she's saying prepare for war. You just seen, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, the UK is sending out Armageddon alerts on phones.
Advertising's dynamic. We are pivoting our focus onto Gen Z.
In certain lighting, I have been mistaken for Gen Z. We can create a bop.
He said he'd be back, and Europe's leaders are bracing themselves.
We can do things that
fair use is more commentary, more criticisms and intellectual feedback for teaching purposes is being done with this video. This is being used under fair use. I mean, let it continue.
Nobody else can do.
A resurgent Donald Trump determined to continue his America First vision in a world markedly different since his departure from the White House. Riven with challenges not just to NATO, but also the European Union, as it struggles to maintain unity over a war at its border in Ukraine. Trump has renewed his demand that European countries increase military spending from 2 to 5% of their GDP.
See that? So he's telling them they have to utilize increased spending for their militaries. So all the NATO countries, look, you're going to start cutting some corners, man. Rob Peter to pay Paul, but you better start investing in this war. And the smaller countries like, look, man, we already, scraping the bottom of the barrel with these pennies, man. We ain't got it. He's like, hey, you better get with it or else you might get left in the dust.
Even threatening to abandon U.S. allies countries increase military spending from 2 to 5% of their GDP, even threatening to abandon US allies if they don't deliver.
I think it could be very difficult diplomatically inside NATO as the United States presses for numbers that are more like 5% rather than 2% defense spending targets. There are some countries like Poland that are already close to 5%. But for most European countries, this is utterly unrealistic.
See, that unrealistic. They ain't got the bread. And Trump is telling them, but you better find it. Or we might lose you as a US ally. Can you imagine? They getting taken off the teat, poisonous teat of this great whore? They'll be in a world of trouble.
Europe remains sharply divided on the question of boosting military spending. Countries overburdened with a rising cost of living, such as Germany, are balking at the idea of shelling out 5% of their GDP on defense. Other countries with more pressing security concerns are more open to the idea. Europe's Baltic states say the threat posed by Russia means increased defense spending is urgent.
Now, you see with it, I'm going to wait till this is over because we're going to start the video over. I got a preset.
That's been echoed by NATO's Secretary General.
The 2% is not nearly enough, and if we don't do it, we are safe now, but not in 4 or 5 years. So if you don't do it, get out your Russian language courses or go to New Zealand, or decide now to spend more.
And
see, he said, man, if you don't like it, man, he said, you might as well go to New Zealand. Go try to find a little peaceful country to be under. That's not a part of NATO because we're moving forward. And he said, man, 5%, that ain't even enough. We need to be investing even more money in this war.
Another curveball, Trump reviving his talk of acquiring Greenland, a mostly autonomous territory of NATO member Denmark.
We need Greenland for national security purposes.
Observers say that any talk of a takeover is one way of getting the EU to negotiate buying more from the US, as well as threats of tariffs which would harm the bloc's sluggish economy, weakening an ally.
So if we look at this from the beginning, right? Now you got some NATO countries who are not with it. They're not happy with what Trump is talking about. The EU is running around talking about, hey, you know what, get ready for war. But not at a cost to where something is going to ignite this. Am I saying this is it? Maybe, who knows? But there is going to be a coalition of nations who are going to be upset with America, who at one point in time had an agreement and a league with America, and they're going to turn on them. Now we're seeing already the makings of the problem. Revelation 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Now the 10 horns represents NATO and the EU. This is the conglomerate of the nations. Even if you're looking at the EU has 10 configurations of which is built and established. There was 10 nations that was set up, I believe, in 1946. Might be a little bit later, 48. Don't quote me on the year when the EU was established, or NATO was established. Excuse me. In defense of the world after World War II ended, 10 nations came together. We've ran down the nations multiple different times of when it was established, but you're dealing with the 10 common markets economically, right? So the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, this is NATO or the EU. You got Belgium, France, Italy, Denmark, Luxembourg, Greece, Ireland, West Germany, the UK, and the Netherlands was the initial nations that started off, but you got the Council of the EU. It's got 10 configurations. These were the 10 horns that got set up in 1955, I believe it was. But nonetheless, those nations can be interchanged depending on, Esau's power struggles or whatnot. But that's what it represents, the EU and NATO. It says, now these are all riding upon the beast system. They're all riding upon the beast, all relying upon it. And it says they're going to hate the whore. The whore is America. So something is going to draw a schism between the relationship between the whore and the 10 horns. And it says it's going to make the whore desolate and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Well, that's part of the prophecy. of the destruction of America. See, now they're in a league because they got a common enemy, right? The common enemy being Russia. And America's trying to take the lead, saying this is what needs to happen. You guys are going to have to invest some more money in your spending. We got to get this thing cracking. Some of the nations is like, we ain't got it. That ain't cool. We got greater pressing needs right now economically. So there's a schism right now going on between the whore and the 10 horns. Now, the Bible says that the 10 horns are going to hate the whore. And even in Obadiah, it says that all those that were in league with Esau in America are going to hate him and turn it back on him and slaughter him. You know, in all intents and purposes, be destroyed via fire. You know, we just read that in Revelation 17. So Jeremiah 50:41 says, behold, a people shall come from the north and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. So this is the conglomerate of the 10 horns. Is going to hate the whore, right? They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array, like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. The daughter of Babylon, the offspring of Babylon, that's America. They're going to rise up against America. This is why America is going to find itself in a global conflict with multiple nations at whom once they may have been cool with. But because of America being so boastful, so proudful, so forceful, wanting to oppress all nations, want to be under the thumb of America, and some of them not going to like it. This is why you see, and this is why it's so important that we're seeing how Agent Orange is out here running his campaign. He came out the gate smoking, putting everybody in check, making people kiss the ring, people, you know, forcefully having to submit to him. They ain't like it. You know, you got some that's already standing up in defiance, like, nah, I ain't with it. You know, you got multiple, he's running through all these agencies, FBI and federal agencies, telling everybody quit. This program's over with. Them laying you off. You're fired. Telling the nations, man, get on board or else. Pucker up them lips, man, and come over here and suck on you. The whole you know, the breasts of the great whore, the mother of harlots. Come get some of this wine of the wrath of the fornication, man. Come get some of that poison milk coming up out of her. Remember, Revelation 14, it says he made the nations drink of the wrath. See, there's going to be an allegiance that says, I'm sick of this, man. You ain't going to keep making me do this. Yeah, I'm growing rich. Yeah, I got the abundance of delicacies, man. But I'm tired of you telling me what to do. I'm tired of you bossing, you know, being a boss over me. And you extorting me. They ain't gonna like it. All right. So we see the makings of the 10 horns hating the whore. So let's stay tuned on that. All right, look at this. Trump proposes a clean out of Gaza population. The U.S. president urges Egypt and Jordan to take people in from a demolition site. So here he goes, shaking and moving again. Now he's going to tell, I know, I got to calm down, huh? I got to calm down. Yeah. Trump now is trying to tell Egypt and Jordan what to do. Hey, take all these refugees, man. Yeah, the Israelis went over there, bombed the hell out of them, man. Got them scattered all over the place. They all jacked up. I need you to go ahead and take these refugees in. Tens of thousands of them. Meanwhile, when you got a crisis of people coming from drug warred out, war-torn countries, third world areas over on our side, which is part of America. I don't know how they don't even really want to acknowledge that. If you got Central America, South America, but then when they come over here, they're illegals in America. How does that work? I mean, the suffix of the names of where they're coming from in these countries all lead back to America. How can I be illegal if I'm coming from a country in Central America? Isn't it still America? Oh, nobody thinks about that, huh? But when it comes down to, these other countries, man, Trump's saying, you take these illegals, man. Make them feel like home. Egypt, Jordan, open up them doors. That's how you know, man, the so-called white man is the wicked that runs the earth, man. What other nation can run around and tell other countries what they need to do? The damn sure ain't the Arabs. The Arabs ain't calling no shots like that. Look at this. Donald Trump has urged Egypt and Jordan to take in most of the population of Gaza, saying it is time to, quote, clean out the territory and comments that are likely to outrage Palestinians and Arabs across the region. Yeah. Because what do they want to do? They want to establish an extension of Israel. Remember, that was always the plan. Netanyahu wanted that territory because of they wanted to create that new canal. They wanted to create a new dock for trade and getting the money. I believe there's also oil over there. They wanted the land, and now here you see Agent Orange being a sympathizer for the the GMO people over there. You know what I'm talking about, the inorganic, non-organic, fake, lab-grown people over there claiming that they're the real thing. Now he's a sympathizer, man, making good on it. Basically telling the Palestinian people, you ain't got no land to come back to. It's a demolition site. You go become migrants over there in Egypt and Jordan, man. Let's clean this up, and we're gonna go ahead and let the Israelis, take good care of the land for you. See, look at this. I'd like Egypt to take people, and I'd like Jordan to take people. The U.S. president told reporters aboard Air Force One, "You're talking about 1.5 million people, and we just clean out the whole thing." Remember when he was president back in what was it, 20? I think it was 2000. I forgot what year it was. Maybe 18, when he declared Jerusalem the capital of Israel or something like that. If I remember, it came through him that he's the one that declared it. This dude loves this. Let me see what. Yeah, here you see this. United States. It ain't official, man. Yeah, 2017. I said 2018. 2018. United States recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. It is not. It's not official, man, unless America stamps it. Trump declared Jerusalem Israeli capital, smashing U.S. policy. So this, he's always been on board with the GMO fraudulence-ish people, right? He's the one who declares Jerusalem as the capital city. They couldn't even do it themselves, man. That lets you know who's running the earth. That lets you know who this great whore is that all nations are relying upon. Now he's going over there throwing his weight around, saying, because you can see who he's favoring already just from his last term. If he's the one saying, well, Jerusalem is the capital now of Israel, and I got their back, and I'm stamping this and this, that, and the third. Now the land that they were fighting over in Gaza, that whole strip that has resources and valuables that the Israeli government wants. Now he comes in and says, well, the people can't come back. You got 1.5 million. Y'all got to go. And Egypt and Jordan, it'd be in your best interest to take these people in, or you're going to face some problems with us, and you don't want that. Trump's proposal would upend decades of U.S. policy promoting the two-state solution based on the establishment of a Palestinian state alongside Israel in Gaza and parts of the occupied West Bank. That was what they were hoping for in a peace settlement. Clearly, that ain't going to happen. There's not going to be two states. They're not going to declare and allow the Palestinians to have their independent state and keep Gaza, and Israel can keep their own. No, they're not doing that. They're getting ready to boot them up out of there, man, everything they want to give to the GMO persuasion, the ish people. So there you go. Iran secretly building nuclear missiles that can hit Europe obviously wasn't a good kept secret. I mean, I think we've been knowing that Iran has had the capability and the resources to build nukes for a long time. But now we see here a Revolutionary Guard aerospace experts working on warheads with a 3,000-kilometer range at two sites disguised as satellite launch base sites. Say the exiles. So there were some exiles that came out. They're calling themselves whistleblowers, saying, "Hey, they've got two sites that they're building nukes on." And by all estimations, there's been reports that Iran can make a nuke within a week, or have the framework. of making a nuke within a week. So, getting back into, the bowmen of the scriptures, Elam, Iran, living by the bow, we can see how they'll have access to creating these things. I mean, look, Russia was getting drones from Iran. So them having the aerial expertise with weaponry shouldn't be too much of a shocker. But the fact is this, like I said earlier, the chump says this is the one country that he can't tame. This is the one because they're so zealous for Allah in Iraq, in Mecca, that they don't care about wealth, money, politics, and none of that. They feel religiously they got rights to lands, they got rights to to govern based upon their laws, be it Sharia law, be it the Sunni and Shiite conflicts that's internal. They like, look, we stay out our business. We can do what we want to do over here. And America's constantly running around talking about you need to liberate the women and stop making them dress modest and covering themselves and whatever else, and you need to allow them to vote. And they like, man, if you don't get up out of here in our damn business, this is how we're living religiously. This has nothing to do with you and your economics and your damn politics. This is why the Trump is like, hey, we might have to handle them differently. What's differently? You know what that means. That's why Iran is saying, well, get ready with these nukes. And we all know, according to Ezekiel 38, one country that's going to get Iran's back is Russia. So World War III, all of the above, as we've been seeing, is still on deck. Look at this. There will be many casualties. Panama girds for war as Rubio opens up talks. Marco Rubio. There goes your boy, Rasha. Your 10 tribe, brother, man. Your Northern Kingdom. Are you claiming him? Let me find out. Again, so the Trump again, more wars. As he wants Greenland. He wants to purchase that. Now he's saying, we don't even know if Denmark got rights to this. We need it for military strategies for everybody. If we get Greenland, we'll be able to protect the world. He's out for it all, man. He renaming the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America. They have it in some certain documents. It's only being acknowledged by, America and certain government officials. But I've seen some documents where they were calling it the Gulf of America. But globally and officially, that's not the case. But he's already trolling, getting that out there. Now they want the Panama Canal. And they're willing to go to war for it. Panama says they're girding up, getting ready for war. They said there's going to be many casualties. Rubio, of course, he goes sends the coon, Rubio. I don't know if he speaks Spanish or not, but of course, Marco Rubio got to go down there to speak Spanish to the Panamanians and tell them, hey, the jefe ain't playing. A boss ain't playing. You guys might want to surrender this and give it up, man. We'll treat you fair. You know how they always do, man. The colonizer, they go send a translator out there. Try to demand and establish a covenant. Think you'll be open because you speak the language, you look like them, you got the same last names. Thinking they'll soften them up, man. Send one of their own over there, man. Rubio, get your people in line. Get them to agree very quickly. Or else. See, Donald Trump wants the Panama Canal because he believes it is vital for U.S. economy, or Silaki, for U.S. economic security, and has expressed concerns about Panama's management of the canal, claiming it is unfairly charging American ships. He has also made unfounded accusations about Chinese control over the canal, which has raised fears of potential military or economic actions to regain control. Did you hear that? Potential military or economic actions to regain control. Reading over here, it says Marco Rubio's weekend visit to the Panama is set to offer clues to the pressing question whether the next 4 years of American policy will more closely resemble an impartial conquest. Imperial conquest. I said impartial. Imperial conquest. Sounds like colonization all over again, doesn't it? Here come the conquistadors again. Or a hardball real estate negotiation. Which one do you think it is? Again, with the colonization, they got some more captive coon, man, they are turned out, a scout, go over there and they got to translate and tell them what the deal is. So here go Rubio going on over there. On the ground here, members of the country's small political elite have been bracing for either. As tensions over the Panama Canal ratcheted up last month, Panama's former president, Ernesto Perez Valladares, sat in his office on the 10th floor of a bank building and contemplated the worst case scenario, an American invasion. And what did he say? He said, I think there will be many, many casualties on our side. Basically, he's saying we don't stand a chance. If America comes over here and invades, man, there's going to be many casualties on our side. And he said, and an international condemnation of the U.S. So the only thing they're going to get is internationally people condemning America, but internationally, ain't nobody going to do nothing about it. You can say how much you disagree with and didn't like what America did to the poor old Panamanians and took back the canal, but they ain't going to stop it. Because guess what? They going to need to continue exporting and importing them goods through that canal. And they're going to say, you know what? We don't like how it went down, but shoot, we got to make money. We got to eat. We're still going to utilize that canal. We're still going to continue business arrangements with America. Why? Because they're stuck on the tit of the great whore. They're waxing rich to the abundance of her delicacies. The Panama Canal, America built it. Gave it over to Panama, man, and they said, you know, let's have a trade agreement. We're going to need this to establish trade. Now the chump is saying, hey, you've been over here robbing us, got us overpaying to be able to use this canal that we built. Matter of fact, we're going to take it back. Isn't that what they call Indian giving? Build it, give it to somebody, then you don't like how things go and you take it back. That's Esau for you, man. Broken covenants all day long. That's why they said that this is going to be an imperial conquest, and we're going to see the second coming of the conquistadors riding on back down there to take that. To use a Diddy reference, take that, take that. Here we go. Let me let him speak.
When you own a home, sooner or later, you're going
Matter
to
of fact, I don't know if it's in this particular
press
conference.
conference. But every once in a while, those repairs can be pretty complex.
But he said that there was a reporter man that asked him, said, can we rule out that
so
you're
where
going to
can you
use
go to find a
military
trustworthy
force,
expert
economic
who will
sanctions,
make
or
foundation,
economic
structural, or hillside
canal?
repairs
And
that
the
fit
chump
your
said,
goals
no, I
and
can't
meet
rule
your
that out.
budget? The answer is
Brand. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Fair use. Fair use.
Morning, President-elect Trump doubling down on his push to take over Greenland and the Panama Canal, refusing to rule out using the military to do it.
Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No, I can't assure you either of those two.
Enough said. Do I need to play the rest? He said, can you assure that there won't be any military or economic coercion in the taking of the canal? He said, no, I can't assure you that. We might have to go bomb and have so many casualties so we can get this money.
Greenland and the Panama Canal, refusing to rule out using the military to do it.
Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No, I can't assure you either of those two. But I can say this, we need them for economic security.
Trump has suggested buying Greenland in the past, but the Prime Minister...
Trump says we need that money. Economic security, man, I need that. It ain't about their economic security, it ain't about nobody else. If America bottom line, as he says, America first, he's willing to go balls to the walls, man, to get it.
Denmark says it's not for sale. Donald Trump Jr. visited the territory yesterday, but did not meet with government officials. Critics say the president-elect should be focused on more pressing issues like grocery prices. As for the Panama Canal,
No es negociable.
Panama's Foreign Affairs Secretary saying the sovereignty of our canal is non-negotiable. Trump also floated the idea of renaming the Gulf of Mexico.
The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate.
Changing the Gulf of Mexico's name in American documentation is technically possible, but there's no guarantee other countries would go along with the rebrand. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
So, man, this guy's he's on a rampage. He's on a rampage, right? Now look at this. I heard that there was a whole lot of hoopla, man, jumping off when the chump said he was going to cut federal spending temporarily until they, look at the books. And I was hearing, man, people was wilding out on TikTok. Negroes running around here. Trump's cutting Section 8. He's cutting EBT. He's getting rid of all of us. First of all, man, the scriptures say, man, it's a terrible life when one depends on another man's table for bread. Right? Matter of fact, let's grab that real quick in Sirach. What scripture is that? That's in 40 and 29. Let's look at this real quick. Sirach 40:29 says, the life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life. He said, that's not living, man. If you're living day to day saying, boss, pay me, boss, where's mine in the mail? Boss, my GR check didn't come through my didn't get accredited to my card or whatever the case may be. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody has circumstances. Sometimes you might have to use this world as not to abuse the world, as Paul said. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. If you can finesse the system, get a little something out the game, I'm turning the other way. I ain't hating, whatever. But if you are, keyword, dependent, if you are reducing yourself to saying, boss, hand out, boss, give me, sitting like a baby chick with your mouth open, waiting for the worm to get dropped into your mouth. And if you don't get it, you're going to starve to death and be victims to, some predator. You got nobody to blame but yourself, man. The Most High even told us, man, that if a man doesn't care for his own household, he's worse than an infidel. So at some point in time, yeah, you might fall on hard luck, might get on disability, whatever the case may be. Okay, understandable. But don't create your life in dependence upon the system or the so-called white man, because he will pull that rug from underneath of your feet at any particular point in time. This was just an example. It had Negroes running to the hills, to the highest mountain, crying and whining, TikTok all out, crying, oh, he's taking away, he's getting rid of us. Oh, no. Well, guess what? If you wasn't fully dependent upon him, man, it wouldn't even mattered. But it says the life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for life. For he polluted himself with other men's meat, but a wise man well nurtured will beware thereof. You're going to be always cautious. Somebody tell you, man, hey, man, come on, I got you. Don't worry about it. Come on over here, I got you. They always tell you, man, jail rules, man, don't accept nothing from nobody. Oh, man, you want some food? Here, take this. Oh, you need that? Here, take that. I got you. Before you know it, you somebody's, you know what? Because you're in debt, you owe. Ain't nothing for free. You got to beware, man. So when that came out, people was tripping, although it wasn't completely accurate. Yes, there were going to be nonprofits that got affected and the whole nine, but the Supreme Court immediately came in, stepped in, blocked it. Now the White House has rescinded, took back, in other words, its memo freezing federal grants after widespread confusion and legal changes. So people can calm down. You can stop getting hyped up off of these TikToks and people running around tripping, spreading wrong information, whether purposefully or just ignorantly. But let it be known that lesson learned, that he can push the button and stop and freeze things at any particular point in time. Nothing is guaranteed. I mean, when hasn't he broken a covenant and an agreement? So that should be a lesson learned, man, for any and all who are dependent upon the system for survival. When you really may have some skills and may have an ability to do for yourself, start doing that, man. You sitting back waiting on this, the dude might cut you off. Then you'll be crying and whining and tripping, So that's the lesson of the day on that. But for anybody that was concerned and wondering what's going on, they took it back, and it actually never went into full effect because the Supreme Court blocked it. It was going to be challenged and appealed by Trump and all of that. But even before they went through all of that, they took it back. All right, so let's move on. He's on the rampage with that pen and pad. This is one that I was like, oh. But if we, 3-4 years ago, speaking on this, man, I believe my IQAhmath channel got lost. YouTube removed it because of too much talking about this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Our current channel, our other channel got taken down before we built the Reloaded channel a couple of years ago. Before we had to build this one up. The other one got taken down because of speaking on this and other matters. Now look, Agent Orange comes in and signs an executive order reinstating thousands of troops after they got discharged for not taking that poke in the arm. Imagine that. So I'll tip my hat where credit is due. My last name wouldn't be Ahmath, which is truth, if I didn't stand on it. So if something's true, something's right, hey, I got to acknowledge it. He came in and said that was wrong. All them troops that got discharged because they refused to get poked in the arm, man, they didn't acknowledge any religious exemptions. They didn't, hey, look, they said that you took a vow against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and all that other stuff, man. You became a ward of the government and the ward of the state and whatever. And you don't go by the rules, man. We got to discharge you. Lost their benefits in the whole nine. Now he's making amends. But is this all sincere? Why, after all we just got to talking about over the last hour and damn near 30 minutes or more, all this war is jumping off. He's gonna need every hand on deck that he can. So is this making redemption for the blunders of Biden, or is this we're gonna need some more hands on deck? We got some live bodies out there. Yeah, all those cats got discharged for the jab. Reinstate them. Back pay, full benefits is going down. Now they're gonna come in smiling, man. They're gonna fight to the death for this cat. Look at this. President Trump is expected to sign an executive order on Monday to reinstate thousands of U.S. service members who were discharged for refusing getting poked in the arm. A White House official told the Post. Trump is preparing to make good on the 2024 campaign promise to bringing back more than 8,000 members of the U.S. military, restoring them to their previous rank, and providing back pay and full benefits. How can you say no? How can you turn that down, man? The Godfather came in and said, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. You get your ranking back pay, full benefits. Just come on back and get on this front line, man, because we got something jumping off in Panama. I got some friction jumping off with NATO. Iran's over there building nukes. Putin said, Putin already went on record, man. He said, man, I ain't talked to Trump. I keep talking about, I got a very good relationship with him. We're gonna holler and 24 hours it'd be over. Putin said, man, I ain't talked to him. And matter of fact, man, he's over here making threats, talking about if I don't stop what I'm doing, heavy sanctions and tariffs is coming down the pipeline. So the only talk that he's gotten is threats. Take that how you want, right? So the order will cover active duty or reserve service members who were kicked out for not taking the jab mandated by Slow Biden and his administration between 2021 and 2023. So all the glitters ain't gold, man. When he speaketh fair, believe him not. You know the rules, right? This ain't just because, hey, that was wrong. I'm gonna make sure you guys are taken care of. Now, down the pipeline is they're gonna be warm bodies ready to get out there and go and get busy. He's inked new executive orders today banning the transgender service members, military DEI programs. Hey, got no problem with that. Got no problem with that, man. At least he's highlighting the fact of saying, hey, we can't have the Transformers out here banging the red, white, and blue. We can't do these military DEI. We're not going to do these gender wars with sports, man. A man can't compete with in a female sport. Can't have a man in a boxing ring or on a basketball court or wherever, beating up on women. and getting away with it because he identifies as, a female. Like, no, I'm not doing that. So, at least he's upholding some sort of dignity, So he's banning those things. Transformers out there, being Decepticons out there in the warpath. No, I can't do that. So there you go. Let's move on. Crashed. U.S. Army helicopter Black Hawk unit was responsible for a doomsday readiness. So everybody knew about what happened with the helicopter crashing into the commercial airliner, people dying. There's a lot of different speculatory conspiracies of where, what, why, when, and how. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole today. But the one thing I did want to acknowledge is it says that this Black Hawk unit was responsible for a doomsday readiness execution plan. They were exercising an escape plan for government officials for continuity of government. So in other words, this is how they were going to escape. Say if there was an attack on the White House, something's going down, wars jumping off, how they was going to get up out of there. They was preparing to show the pathways on getting up out. What makes it so ironic is the fact that they crashed and burned lets it be known in the spirit, there's not going to be no escape. When doomsday is here, when judgment of the Lord is here, Esau is not escaping. This is why you're hearing about all of the failed attempts to get up out of the atmosphere and fly, get to Mars and run for cover. No, there ain't no escape, man. So take that in the spirit, that this is the doomsday readiness exercise, and the Lord made it all crash and burn. That Esau is not escaping. Okay. Job 11:20. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. See that? You got no shot in hell, man. It's over with. Their hope shall be as giving up the ghost. Their hope is as good as dead, good as gone. The wicked shall fail, they shall not escape. And they ironically, I don't know why. I haven't did too much research on it as of yet, but they released two other names of the two officers that was on the Black Hawk, but they're refusing to disclose the name of the female pilot. Why? I don't know. But that's interesting. Why don't they talk about the pilot? Why did she, why they turn off the communication box? What happened with that whole scenario? I mean, who knows, man? I just looked at it and said, oh, they was trying to prepare for doomsday. They was trying to get up out of there, look into how they can continue on with the government and escape with officials and military personnel. And the Most High was like, oh, that's how you think you're getting out? Let me give you a heads up of how that's going to work out. You ain't going nowhere, right? Psalm 56, let's look at 7 down to 10. Shall they escape by iniquity? In thine anger cast down the people, O Yahweh. Thou tellest my wanderings, put down my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? When I cry unto thee, then shall my enemies turn back. This I know, for the Most High is for me. This is how we see particular testimonies, man. This is how we know that the children of Israel, our prayers are being heard. We're crying to the Lord. We're gathering ourselves together in the spirit, physically. We're coming back into the understanding of who we are. We're empowering ourselves through the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding of the scriptures. We're repenting. We're keeping the words of the Lord. And now what's the Most High going to do? He's going to show us particular signs, right? Matter of fact, he's going to show us signs that we're being heard. So when you see stuff like that, man, you don't just allow it to slide by and just say, oh man, that was a tragedy. That was crazy. Remember, Sirach 5:15 says, be not ignorant of any matter, small or great. So we don't just brush it off as, damn, that was wild. Oh, shoot. No, you got to look at it for what it is. Look at this in the spirit, man. Deuteronomy 26. And we're going to read 6 down to 8. And the Egyptians evil entreated us and afflicted us and laid upon us hard bondage. And when we cried unto Yahweh, power of our fathers, the Most High heard our voice and looked on our affliction and our labor and our oppression. See how that works? Same way back in the old Egypt of old, here in spiritual Egypt, we have to do the same thing in order to receive the redemption of the Most High. And he says what? He will hear our voice. So when we cry to the Most High, when we pray and we send up our supplications to the Most High, when he acknowledges and he sees that evil's entreated us, we've been afflicted, we're in bondage, we're going through it, the oppression is getting overwhelming for us. He said, I hear you. And then what's he going to do? And Yahweh brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand and with an outstretched arm and with great terribleness and with signs and wonders. And he had brought us into this place and have given us his land, even a land that floweth with milk and honey. So Isaiah 14 says he's going to take us and return us to our place, right? Even here in spiritual Egypt. The Most High said that we got to still look for signs and wonders, because remember 2 Ezra 15, he says he's going to send forth a plague just like he did in Egypt of old. So we still looking for signs and wonders. So when I look at that, I was like, that's a little bit of a sign that here, this doomsday readiness, like you said, Naquab, yeah, they wasn't ready. Because the Lord was like, oh, you think you're ready? No, you're not ready. You think you're escaping? You're not escaping. You're done for, right? So these are particular signs, man, we got to look for. All right. So whatever else went down with that, who knows? But for what I look at it in the spirit, this is a sign that the Most High is going to always, he's hearing the cries and the prayers of the children of Israel. We're on the right path. We just got to stay steady. As my elder Shav says, stay on due course. Moving on. FBI begins nuclear incident drill in New York amid fears of World War III. Oh, so the FBI is even talking about it. So not only is the UK running nuclear Armageddon drills, the FBI is doing nuclear incident drills in New York, fearful of World War III. They're doing remember what was it? A month and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer. They were doing evacuation drills out the White House. Now we're seeing this Black Hawk drills doing doomsday readiness. What are they doing, and why are these words being used? And they're not telling everybody, hey, guess what? Something's coming down the pipeline. We're preparing. You're not. You know. You keep looking at Sexy Red. Keep looking at Cardi B. Keep looking at Lil Baby. Yeah, keep wondering how Jay-Z and Beyonce's relationship is doing. Yeah, don't Diddler. Yeah, we got him locked up. Make sure you keep following the news trail of rumors of what's happening to him in jail. You know, will the Chiefs be the three-peat football champions for the first time? You know, these are the headlines that they want us to be concerned with. Officials have begun a large-scale nuclear incident exercise in New York amid fears of World War III. The Federal Bureau of Investigation said the exercise includes military aircraft, personnel who will carry out scenario threats to be ready to respond in the event of a nuclear incident in the United States or overseas. So I can't recall if this was, let me see, this came out January 27th. I don't remember when the plane crashed, but that was in New York. But the helicopter crashed in DC. So either way, they're running multiple operations in regards to nuclear World War III incident drills, doomsday scenarios, the whole nine. All right, that's what's going on the front. So let's continue on. 7 dead, 19 injured in northeast Philly. Plane crash. Numbers could still rise. What's with all these planes crashing all of a sudden? This is like 2 days after the other plane crashed. 7 dead, 19 injured in Philly. Let's move on. Stock market hemorrhages. $1 trillion as NASDAQ drops 4% on fears China is winning the AI arms race. So China unleashed this new AI beast system that dwarfed ChatGPT, cheaper, and all this other stuff. And a lot of the tech stocks and tech things went down. $1 trillion got lost in 24 hours within this week. $1 trillion. That's with a T. This is why they're worried about the race for artificial intelligence, fake intelligence, man. You ever seen that movie Eagle Eye? I mean, this is the type of stuff that they're trying to drum up and prepare for creation. Who is going to have the technological advancements to rule the world. See, it doesn't really even matter that it's coming from China, because guess what? America's going to take it, monopolize it, and use it. Same way they're doing with TikTok. Comes from China, they utilize it, blows it up. But who made it what it is? America. And now what they do? Forcing them to sell it and give it up. America takes it over. So it isn't that China's trying to lead the world and China trying to take over. No, China ain't got next. America's still going to run everything. The last kingdom is America. That's it. The only thing they're going to do is take that technology, monopolize it, and take it as their own, if America can't keep up with it and make something greater or bigger. But right now, the financial wars is on. Barclays outage continues as customers fuming and bank responds on an update. So the Barclays Bank over in the UK, man, been down 24 hours. People locked out their accounts. They got paid on Friday. Oops, nope, you can't access your account. You can't get to your money. What are you going to do? Another bank outage, another bank failure. Well, I mean, what's going on? Why is this continually happening? Is this, just happenstance, par for the course? This is just a glitch in the matrix? Or is there something going on that they keep tampering with and messing with the electronic systems that control the finances? So Barclays Bank down for 24 hours as of today. People still not able to access their accounts. Give me 1 second, y'all. It's lucky. So again, we got to look at it and say, well, what's going on with all these bank issues? Bank of America had issues over here. Wells Fargo, Barclays, glitches. Oops, you can't access your account. Don't worry, we'll have it fixed in a minute. What are they operating in the background? 24 hours, no bread. That's why I said, Lord willing, if you have the ability to have a little bit of income that you can stash on the side, have a little cash on hand, because when you're relying on the digital systems, they can crash at any particular point in time. There could be a glitch that you could have 5,000 in the bank, and next thing you know, the glitch says you got zero or you're negative 5,000, and it takes them 3-5 days to figure it out, and you ain't got no access to no funds until they get it squared away. So you get that paycheck, man. Instead of going out there and buying that $19 Big Mac combo, man, save that $20 and throw it underneath of the mattress, and get to the beans and rice if need be, because you're gonna need it. Believe me. Moving on. X partners with Visa to create X Money and to push a transformer platform into the Everything app, similar to WeChat. WeChat. That's the this is China's I guess version of X, but I think that might be the actual I can't remember the name of the little AI system that they came out with. It's something similar to that, but China's got an app called WeChat. Now it says WeChat is what the Chinese Communist Party uses to enforce its social credit score by keeping tabs on its citizens. So mind you, remember, the whole focus is to create a global network that's backed by AI, enforced through digitized economies and tracking and everything else, world IDs, the whole shebang, right? And now you've got Elon Musk, who's got access to the government and economics. He's got a social platform that he's trying to mimic the same type of system China's doing, and China uses it to spy and keep tabs on the citizens, to monitor the economic exchanges. So now he's got X Money that he's partnered with Visa, and Visa, I believe it's MasterCard. MasterCard, and I did a DSTM on this, man, maybe like 3 years ago. MasterCard has a card that they're incorporating with being able to interchange with all payment platforms. There's another credit card I forgot. I think it's backed by MasterCard, where you can download all of your cards into one card. where all of your payments can go through this one particular card. I can't remember the name of it off the top. Like I said, it's like 3 years ago. I got to find that information and dig it back up. But the ultimate thing is they want everything through one streamline. Your ability to communicate with each other, buying and selling, interchanging, information, building upon your social credit scores. They do that in China. Now here comes Elon Musk trying to mimic it with his quote unquote everything app. And now that he's got a position in the government, he can tweak the system a little bit, especially if, let's say, he decides to join the fray in buying TikTok or forcing them. All those multi-millions accounts, they're all going to, acquiesce to the business model that's set up after X. So we'll see how this goes. But this is interesting because this is all part of the beast system. This is all part of that Revelation 13, where they're trying to create a international system where rich or poor, you can't buy or sell unless you got the mark, unless you're rolling along with the system of the beast. So the everything app is now being a part of X in cohesion with Visa. Look at this. Top AI investor says the goal is to crash human wages. What a noble vision. So as much as everybody's in love with AI, we see the technological advancements, everything that it can do. Know that, and we've been saying it for years, the idea and the understanding is built to replace you, replace me, to make us broke, to make us poor, and it's going to be taken over via AI, right? Mark Anderson, co-founder of the massive venture capital firm Anderson Horowitz, which has its fingers in pretty much every pie in tech, has revealed an eyebrow-raising detail in his techno-optimist vision of the future. In a recent tweet, the American billionaire investor casually proclaimed that AI, quote, must crash everyone's wages before it can deliver us an economic utopia, one that'll definitely happen and certainly not create a permanent underclass of have-nots. Quote, a world in which human wages crash from AI logically necessary is a world in which productivity growth grows through the roof and prices for goods and services crash to near zero. So he's trying to say, well, no, this is going to be great. You're not going to be making any money. You're not going to have any opportunities to make money or to be employed because AI is going to take your job. But guess what? Because we don't have to spend so much in paying wages, it's going to be cheaper for you to buy goods and services. Well, how are you going to get goods and services when you ain't got no damn income? Oh, a universal basic income, huh? Maybe a UBI that might be able to, sustain everybody's households. Think about it. So the race to the top, you already got AI driven, Walmart trucks, taxis. They already got, AI and robotic McDonald's. They're coming in, crashing in, Chat GPT, everything else, being able to remove the human element and a lot of computer programming and all that other stuff, man. This is what they're trying to say. Why pay you when we can go out and invest in tech to replace you? And here's one of the top heads, the top demons. This is why you see them there. This ain't me. I didn't do this. They put the eyebrows and the horns on them, man. It's the devil. He popped out and said it. We're trying to replace you. Case in point, Nissan planning to cut up to 2,000 jobs and reduce production by 25%. So Nissan's cutting back. Almost 2,000 jobs are going to be cut this year. Why? Because the EV is going, it is not going according to plan. The Trump said that he's not going to force anybody to go EV route. So the Green New Deal, all that is taking a pause. They're not going to be able to, utilize that as a means of oppression and lockdown and all that. So, that put a damper on a lot of the jobs. People looking into the EV production. Nissan, one of them, 2,000 jobs getting cut. Let's move on. Hedge funds, massive bet on stock market crash raises an alarm for 401ks and risk an ire of Trump. So the hedge funds, the money managers, they're all predicting that there's going to be a stock market crash. What's that mean for everybody's pensions, 401ks, savings? Lord knows. They've been talking about stock market crashing for a long time, but the fact that they just had $1 trillion loss this week, because of that AI tech that China came out with, that can only go to show that, yeah, there can be some, those that's involved in the stock market like that, got some problems, man. 401k, remember they were talking about, they trying to cut Social Security in by, 2030, 2035, cutting more legs off of people. But you got hedge funds, man, they're out here betting on a stock market crash. Hedge funds are making a multi-billion-dollar gamble against the U.S. economy, betting Donald Trump's presidency will result in a massive market crash that could devastate 401ks, pensions, and household savings across America. Remember, we said it a long time ago. Last year, they're not going to make this dude's presidency easy. And we've talked about black swan events. Could it be economic? Could it be a grid down scenario? Could it be war? Could it be another plague being released? So here we're even seeing the hedge funds are out here saying, hey, none of them is off the table. They might do all of them. They're betting on making the economy crash. So pay attention to that. Agent Orange, they ain't gonna make it easy for him. He's coming in bogarting and doing what he need to do to try to get everybody in check, but secretly they're out here betting against him. So watch where that goes. Look at this. HHS gives Moderna $590 million to produce an mRNA bird flu poke in the arm as Georgia halts poultry sales due to infection. So we're seeing part of the funding that the chump was signing off on, wanting to create a new mRNA jab for everybody, blaming it on the bird flu. Yeah, they just shoveled in $500 million. 590 million, excuse 590 million. Let me be clear. To Moderna. Moderna made out like bandits, man, during the DVOG 91 scenario. Made billions. Billions. Now they're coming back getting some more money to make another poke. So could it be this as part of the Black Swan event to sabotage the next 4 years? Crash and burn everything. Who knows? Look, anti-jab bills pop up across the U.S. ahead of JFK's confirmation hearing. Jab rates against dangerous childhood infections like measles and polio continue to fall nationwide. So people aren't buying into the pokes no more. So what's their solution? Well, we about to drum up something so serious, man, that they're gonna be begging to get poked in the arm. So JFK is running around here saying, look, we don't need these pokes. I'm not against them. If you need it, go get it, but don't make it mandatory. Stop putting these kids on a schedule of vaccinations where you got to have damn near 80 poke. No, I might be exaggerating. I think it's around 30. It used to be the vaccine records for kids, I think from the 70s into the early 80s was like you had to have like 7. When you to go to school and all the other stuff, you need your vaccination records. It was like 7 shots or something like that. Now it's up to like 30. And he's saying, do we really need 30? Like, come on. Let me see. Let me see. See, look at this. In the 40s, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 50. Let's go up to the 70s where I said. Okay, 70s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, polio, measles, mumps, rubella. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the 70s, right? 85 to 94. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. From 94 to 95. 95 to 2010. These are the recommended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Keeps going up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. That's in 2005. Up, keep going up. And we're not talking the boosters and everything else. We're not talking when you add the boosters, when you have everything else, it's double what you're already seeing. So if you got 13, you got boosters for those, double it up, you're at 26 to 30, depending on it. JFK's like, come on. We're not doing that. We don't need all of that. And people are buying into it, you know. So that's a whole nother war that's going to be jumping off. They already don't like him. Now that the Trump is on released the records on his uncle and his uncle's assassination and I forgot whatever Bobby Kennedy's relationship is to him. I think it's his father. They're all coming clean, right? And it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It is looking quote unquote conspiratorial, as they say. Let's move on. Look, people are hiding. Factories are empty and Home Depot stores eerily quiet as illegal migrants fear Trump's crackdown. And when I seen this, man, I said, I got to swoop by a couple of Home Depots and see if, cats is hanging out looking for work. They saying, man, they ain't hiding. Northern Kingdom, man, ain't out there, man, hanging on the corners looking for spare work. I said, man, let me go check this out. There's a couple of U-Hauls around my way. I'm gonna go scope the land and see what's going on. Are they out there? Between there and U-Haul, they be hanging out at U-Haul looking to help you move. But they're saying people are hiding. Factories are empty. Home Depot stores eerily quiet. The Trump got him on the run, man. He got him on the run. So this is y'all homework, man. Do me a favor. If you got a Home Depot by you, you used to see brothers out there, man, hanging out looking for work. See if they still out there like that. That'll tell you something. Because I'm going to do it, man. Next week we convene. Let me find out who's seen what. You said you bought that Lowe's yesterday, didn't see no one, huh? There you go. There's one testimony. I'm going to do my due diligence this week. And y'all tell me if you find something. We'll reconvene next week, most I permit, and we'll find out if this is true or not. The streets is empty. Remember they were, people was talking about they were giving out Airbnbs for people that lost their homes in the fires. Well, some people are saying, hey, it was a PR stunt. The housing vouchers were useless. Some people were able to use them. It was real. Others didn't get the benefits that came with them Airbnb vouchers. It says, in the wake of deadly fires that ravaged Southern California in January, Airbnb received heaps of praise for its voucher program that offered free stays for displaced victims. Local and national media outlets lauded the effort, directing thousands of refugees to apply. Those are they call them refugees. Anyway, but for many who needed the housing, reviews on is glowing. Some said they applied but never heard back. Others got a voucher but said it was essentially useless due to restrictions and the 7-day expiration date. Plenty of victims have been helped by the program. Airbnb.org, a nonprofit funded by Airbnb, that team with 211 LA to provide the free stays, said it received 34,000 applications and sent out roughly 11,000 vouchers. It's unclear how many of those vouchers were used, but the nonprofit said that more than 60,000 free nights have been booked by people affected by the fires. So look, they say 60,000 free nights, right? Now they said there was 34,000 applicants and they sent out 11,000 vouchers and they gave out 60,000 free nights, which means out of these 11,000 vouchers, they were good for 6 days, pretty much. Maybe a little less than 6 days. I mean, 6 times 11 is 66,000. They gave 60,000. So anywhere between 4 to 6 days, people got free stays at an Airbnb. Now, granted, you're homeless, that's good. You was able to get a roof over your head for 4 days, 4 to 6 days. After that, you SOL, right? But there was 34,000 people that needed it. Now, I'm not saying Airbnb was able to house 34,000 people. They gave out what they could, but there's a bunch of people saying that was bogus. This voucher wasn't even good. I've called, they ain't answered my calls, whatever the case may be. Some people was able to get a couple of days free stay. and then they back out on the streets again. And then someone saying there's a PR stunt is bogus. But nonetheless, there's, publicity that's getting gotten by this Airbnb.org, man. They getting lauded as, some saviors or whatnot, man. But people are saying that, it ain't all that it's cracked up to be. So all the glitters ain't gold, as they say. Back on to this. Doomsday clock moves 1 second closer to midnight in this latest Armageddon prediction. So we're only getting closer, y'all. The doomsday clock, which predicts how close humanity is to extinction, has been moved forward 89 seconds to midnight. Once it hits midnight, man, they all declare that that's it. There's so much going on, man. They said, well, move it up a little bit. Move it up a little bit. Not back, because people was thinking, oh, the chumpers here. Things are going to turn around. No, they're turning up even more. So if anybody believes in the doomsday clock, Esau does. He knows his time is limited, just like the demons, man, that jumped on Legion. And I think it's the book of Mark, the 8th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. The demons told Christ, they said, Son of Man, have thou come to destroy us before the time? Which lets you know that they knew that there was a set time that they had on the earth, man, to wreak havoc. And Yahweh said, now, it ain't time yet, man, but I'm going to banish you over into the swine. They said, no, they asked. They said, man, if it ain't time, then, release us over there to the swine. But why was that host of a body comfortable for these demons to jump into? In the swine. Right? And the swine went and ran into the damn lake and destroyed themselves. So if Esau knows that he's got a limited amount of time, they doomsday clock, they believe in it. And if we're monitoring and checking the situation, you should too. Time is of the essence. Moving on. Storm Hermenia. Maps reveal where torrential downpours will drench Britain today. So this was a couple of days ago. Our people's out there in the UK. If y'all got hit with this, my prayers is out for you. Wasn't sure, but I think it was okay. I know Rosemarie, you and I communicated earlier this week. So I'm apparently your power was still on. Brother Joshua, I don't know. I think I did hear from Joshua somehow, some way. Prayerfully all the well if anything went down, if you was anywhere caught within these storms. I don't think you were. I don't think it was in your area. But nonetheless, we're seeing what's going on globally with disasters, right? 200 areas on the flood watch, 52,000 without power earlier in the week. And look at this. If you're wondering where you're out of state, man, you wonder what the overall outcome of what's happening with these fires out here. Real estate star gives a grim prediction for the future of LA as he reveals why homeowners will never return after the fires. Yeah, that's the point. Hadn't we been saying that, man? You didn't need a millionaire listing agent from a reality TV show to tell you that people ain't going back to no fires, man. You didn't need that. Smart LA is on deck. Governor Gruesome, in so many words, acknowledged it. 2028, they're looking for the Olympics. They're looking to rebuild. I'm hearing that they're even flying in construction workers from out of state who need work because there's not enough workers out here to deal with the demolition sites, to deal with the rebuilds. There's work galore if you're in the construction field. They're flying them in. They're looking for housing for them so they can, get the building as fast as possible because they're already saying the estimated time to rebuild, so to speak, is damn near like 10, 15 years. They want to cut that down. So they're looking for mercenary, construction workers, man, to get it cracking and get it rebuilt, right? So Los Angeles realtor believes a staggering 70% of the Pacific Palisades residents may never return to rebuild their homes. Yeah, no kidding. The sharks is already in the water. You seen the I read y'all, and we went over the articles like the last week or two that the real estate developers is already, sniffing out the land, throwing out offers, trying to persuade people to get up out of there, pennies on the dollar, trying to buy them Jake's homes and properties out there in Altadena. Yeah, they're out there, and they ain't looking to come back. or ain't looking to have them back. So this is just a confirmation that what I talked about and we've talked about is real. Smart LA and the whole nine, man. They ain't trying to get their land back. They don't want rebuilding back in Palisades. They don't want rebuilding back in, Pasadena, Altadena, Malibu, so forth and so on. That's prime real estate. And if they can use that to build this new utopia of a smart LA and an attraction for the world to come into with these Olympics in 2028, yeah, best believe they're going to do that. People that had homes that didn't invest in, the maximum that you could do for, insurance policies. People could have paid their homes off, man, had low cost insurance that didn't have insurance at all. Now they're SOL, as they say. There is no going to the insurance companies and trying to get your money for the damages because you might not have had the coverages for it. Even if you did, they're low balling everybody. Based upon policies and coverages, you may have had let's just say you had, somebody had a $3.5 million home, man, and insurance is saying, we'll give you, 1.72 million, just hypothetical. And you're like, damn, I'm going to lose, $1.5 million or whatever. And then here comes some, sleazy investor, man, crawling on his belly and comes in and says, I'll give you $2 million. I give you $2 million, man, clean. You can bounce. Insurance is only going to give you 1.7. I'll give you extra 300,000. Take it off your hands. Be on your way. Matter of fact, I got a guy down in Tennessee who's got, 2 acres and a 5-bedroom mini mansion that you can get for. I can get it to you for $900,000. Look at that. Not only am I giving you the money, I'm giving you a little extra, plus I'm hooking you up with a new place out of state. $900,000, then you still got an extra, 1.9 or whatever in your pocket. Take it and run. And you saying, man, I've been living in this home for such and such. My house is worth $3 million. Not anymore. And the insurance ain't gonna give it to you. Take the money, get out of here. What are you gonna do? You're gonna take the money, you're getting up out of there. And here comes some new real estate developer, man. They're gonna smack down, lay down in there, man. Bought something that's worth more than it is. They're gonna develop it for, smart city developments and who knows whatever else going down. It's over with. They already talking about making Altadena a smart city. So there you have it. All right. So another one in the books, man. Another one in the books. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High. Why you have a side, man. I want to give my appreciation for brothers and sisters, man, that's tuned in, checking in, supporting the channel. Continue to do so, man. Like, share, and subscribe. And spread the word, man. Time is of the essence, right? So the rest of y'all be well. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, man. Always remember, fear the Most High. Keep the commandments. Don't shoot the messenger. Shalom.